Both my colleague and I had been in business as sole traders for about 8 or 9 years before we launched Palterman and Thomas as a company. Right at the beginning, we asked for a lot of help and advice off various people, including people who'd owned galleries, other artists, other business people. We spoke to different business advisors. We worked closely with them to develop a business plan, a 3-year business plan. That had changed after the first year, because then we realised that we actually wanted to open a gallery and it wasn't all going to be about corporate gifts and things and just manufacturing. When we took over the gallery at the Norwegian church, we covered every aspect of a business plan and cash flow. It was such a big project to take on that we made sure we were well and truly prepared. We spoke to the bank and we had, as I say, business advisors. We looked at it from a practical point of view rather than an idealistic point of view. We were asked how many people we would have in, how much we thought we'd turn over, and we were in reality quite conservative, because I think we needed to be realistic, and I think that's the most sensible thing when you're in business, that if it goes really well, that's brilliant, but I think you go in realistically and deal with things when they come along there. When you're running your own business, I think most people don't realise just how much you have to multitask. At the end of the day, I trained as an artist and a designer jeweller, and I think initially when I set up, I thought I'd just be making jewellery and possibly selling it on, and of course there's so much other things to do, like bookkeeping, that take quite a lot of your time. When we launched the limited company, this was expanded greatly, because obviously we had to register with Companies House. The bookkeeping got a lot bigger, and we obviously had to submit VAT returns, and with the staff we've got national insurance and business rates and all that goes along with it. I try and keep a close eye on absolutely everything, but I've sort of learnt over the years that if I can get some help with it, I do, because I've tried to value my time as a designer jeweller far more. I think if you get a lot of help and advice, then it's not as daunting as it first seems. And there is advice out there. At the end of the day, we're not all trained accountants. I'm a trained jeweller, so I leave the last bit of the accounting to the accountant. I prepare all the bookwork because I think it's important when it's your own business to at least know what's going on. But I don't think you need to be an expert in all those fields. You've just got to try and understand it, because at the end of the day, it is your business. I firmly believe that if you have enough commitment and drive and passion about your subject, then going into business is probably the best thing you can ever do. There are pitfalls and there are fantastic outcomes. You're ultimately in charge of your own future, and if you've got enough drive, then the world's your oyster.